Hello and welcome to a very English craft room and another in the scrapbooking series. Today I'm going to show you a video of a layout I have scrapped using a picture of the Forum in Rome, which I've done in a vintage style. To start with, I selected some photographs and some wooden embellishments. I was going to put them all on one page, but I decided actually to do one page with one photo on, which will be this video, and another page with 3 photos on in a slightly different style, which will be in another video. So I'm starting by trimming down the edges of this photograph. I actually want the photograph to fit in that frame, so it won't need the white edges, and I will actually need to trim it down a little bit more as well, which you will see in a few seconds. So here you see I'm lining it up with the frame there, and I'm just using a propelling pencil there in the little lines in the frame just to give me a guide as to where I want to cut the photograph. I hope you're all well and that the weather is behaving itself for you wherever you might be. For once here it isn't raining and it's been quite a nice sunny day, which is typical because I've actually been at work for most of the day rather than being on annual leave, as I was last week when we had all the wind and the rain. I apologise for the lighting in this video. The sun was shining through the window when I was filming it, and it just seemed a real pity to shut it out, so hence why there's quite a bit of shadow on this video. So I hope it doesn't distract from the video too much for you. Although there are some embellishments there that have got quite a bit of colour in them, I'm actually not using them for this layout, but actually they were leftovers from the layout I did previously, which will be in a future video, if that makes some sense. The ones from the other Forum photographs that I just mentioned. The embellishments for this are going to be mainly browns and creams with a little bit of maroon, quite a sort of vintage photograph feel. So I'm just using some all-purpose glue here to stick the frame onto the back, the picture onto the back of the frame. I purchased this glue quite a long time ago from Amazon. It was a pack of 2. It's lasting a long time and it does seem to stick most things and dries nice and clear and doesn't ruckle the pages up at all when I'm using it directly onto the paper. So you can see there it's a 3-in-1 glue. I'm not sure what the 3 is or indeed what the 1 might be. I think that frame suits the photograph quite nicely. However, I want to back it on some black again to sort of look like it's in a vintage photo album. Originally, I had planned on using the black cardstock for the whole of the background of this page. However, when I was looking for backgrounds for the other page of the Forum, I found this paper that I thought would be absolutely perfect for both of them. So they kind of tie in together even though they have a slightly different feel. I was just going to have it look like an old-fashioned photograph album, but I think this has turned out much better. So just wanted to put a little bit of black there. And then I wanted to darken and age the frame a little bit. Really, I should have done this before even thinking about sticking the photograph in. So I'm using some pumice stone distressed ink there. It's Tim Holtz pumice stone distress ink, and I also go in and use some toffee colour one as well, just to give it a little bit of dirty look and different depths there, just to make it look as if it had been used. Whoops, that slipped out my fingers a little bit. And then back in again. Actually, this is the pumice stone. The one I used first was the vintage photographs one. So 3 different colours just built up there to give it a really aged look to reflect the sepia look in the photograph, which was done with a filter on the camera when I actually took the photograph. it just seemed fitting to have some sepia photographs of those ruins in Rome. So when I was looking for some other embellishments for something else, I came across these brass looking leaves here. One's like a skeleton of a leaf. And to tie in with that and the sepia look of the photographs, I've concentrated mainly on browns and creams with a highlight of burgundy, which actually the line around the edge of that paper is in a burgundy colour. So I just wanted to bring in a little bit of that here and there. Not too much, but just a little tiny touch every now and again. Those birds are misleading. They just need to go out the way because they're not for this layout at all. They just need putting away. Though I didn't there, I just shifted them from one area to another. I've recently been sorting out my photographs and some of the embellishments into little plastic pockets. Those that I know I'm going to be using very soon, I've put in individual plastic wallets. So photographs for one layout will be in one wallet, and then if I find some embellishments I want to go with it, I'll tuck those in with it. And then I've just got a little basket that sits on top of my printer with them all just in there, so that when I'm ready to do the next layout, I just pull them out and they're there and ready. So I found a selection of items I think I might use, and now it's just time to have a little bit of a fiddle around and see where I want to put things. So at this stage I'm actually fairly happy with the amount I've got on there, although I do think I actually end up with a bit more in the end. Yeah, I'm popping a few more bits and pieces on, and it's going to have two different titles as such. I'm just trying to decide which ones to use there. I want to put one wooden one on, and then I was going to decide what else I wanted to put underneath, whether it was going to be another wooden one or something where the word felt a little bit better to fit with it, because I have limited words in the wooden embellishments. Up until recently I haven't actually used an awful lot of pre-made words, whether they be in wood or in chipboard or stickers, but I've purchased quite a few of them recently, so I'm now trying to get some of them used up. So I'm going to use that one that says memories, and I'm going to use the one that was there that says documented from that little sticker set. So now that I'm fairly happy with what I'm going to stick on there, it's now time to start sticking some of the things down. I'm using double-sided sticky tape here, although that embellishment that I've made with the photograph and the frame and the bit of backing card there is quite chunky. It actually doesn't weigh a great deal, so actually the tape is fine. I don't need to use anything more robust like glue, and it gives me a little bit more freedom to get it exactly where I want, and it does help if you get it the right way up. So now I'm using the T-square to make sure I get it parallel to the top and the bottom, and also central in the page. So I know on there that if I get the middle of the photograph at 15 centimetres, then everything should be fine. So I decided I needed to actually darken that word memories, and unfortunately while I was doing it, it snapped into three pieces, but it was fine. I managed to put it back together as it went on the page. So I darkened it with some of the inks, and then because the documented had got gold in it, I just did some highlights on here with some gold pen. However, that then stood out a little bit too much, so I then put some more ink over the top. I then used my Xyron sticker maker to put some adhesive on the back of these bits of wood. So you can see it's still in three pieces there, but as soon as it gets on there, I'll be able to match it up. Just using that little dental stick there that I got from the pound shop to clear away the remainder of the sticky that seems to sort of bridge the gaps between the letters there. Otherwise you end up with a little sticky sort of mess showing on the page. So again, what I'm doing off screen there is just clearing the last of it up, and then just slotting that in there. So now I'm going to pop the other one in place. I'm not sticking it down right now because I'm going to put some bits underneath it, and I do end up using some foam tape just to support it a little bit because the top of it is actually there on the frame, which is quite chunky. using that all-purpose glue, the 3-in-1 there, to stick those sort of metal elements down. However, actually it didn't work, so I ended up again with some foam back tape to stick those on. I think maybe there wasn't just enough flat level parts on those leaves there to actually stick them down adequately. Work has been kind of unusual today. I spent the morning packing boxes in the office because we're in the process of moving from the main hospital site to an off-site location at one of the local colleges. We're moving our office and our training room there. Most of our stuff has actually been in storage for over a year now because, well, we've not been able to do any hands-on training due to COVID, and my team has all been redeployed in various different COVID roles. However, with the vaccination programme working as well as it is, we do hope that by the end of May we're going to be able to get back up and do our own job of teaching moving and handling to the staff at the hospital. So that's something to look forward to, and a nice new shiny training room to actually do that in, so that's good. And this afternoon I've spent either catching up on email or in online meetings. I think lots of people now are quite used to these online meetings. However, it will be really nice to actually be able to get together and have face-to-face meetings once again once all of this is over. So I'm nearly there with sticking bits and pieces onto the layout, fiddling around with a couple of squirrely whirly bits there. Don't really know how to describe those then. Squirrely whirly, that's a bit of a strange thing to say, but yeah, just little swirls, I suppose, that's what you want to say. And again, using some of this glue because they're too fiddly to put double-sided tape on the back of, and the Xyron sticker maker is quite expensive for the refills, so I don't want to use it too much on things that I could just use a little bit of glue on the back of. So again, just having a little bit of a fiddle and seeing where I can put that bit. It didn't seem to sit happily in many of the places I tried, although I do find a home for it eventually. So I think I'm almost done there. I find some little gold hearts that were on the same page, same sheet as that documented word, and I wanted the gold on there to be reflected in something else just to tie it all in. With having been on annual leave for quite a number of days recently, I've actually managed to complete quite a lot of scrapbooking, and I've videoed quite a lot of that, so when I get the time I will edit those and upload those onto my YouTube channel for you. This may take me a little while as now I'm back to work, so I don't have quite as much time as I have done over the last week or so. So just doing the last few finishing touches here, and then this layout will be finished. So I'd like to thank you for joining me in a very English craft room, and ask that if you have enjoyed this video that you would click on the like and subscribe buttons so that you'll be notified when I upload another craft video for you to see.